Explosionade! Well, where do I begin? Ever wanted Metal Slug graphics mixed in with a Contra-styled control system? This is what you're likely to get. Developed by Mummy's Best Games, which is the exact term my mother would use to describe the complete opposite of the types of games these guys create. Mummy's Best Games are an indie developer which have recently released an action pack with 4 small but fun games, one of which is Explosionade. Explosionade is a 2D platform shooter, my worst genre of choice because I'm horrible, that takes place underground in a place where you thought you could hide all those terrible things that came from your bowels. You start the game as First Lieutenant Terry Atticus, or Jonah Hill as we will refer to him as throughout this review. He is essentially your average idiot that tries to impress all his army buddies by reversing some toiletry pipes. This subsequently left him in the shit, and has made him stay back at base in the middle of a war. In his infinite wisdom, Jonah was in the supply room trying to locate a shovel and a putty knife. For what exactly, I genuinely don't know. Seriously, can someone tell me what he uses a putty knife and a shovel for? But unexpectedly stumbles on a prototype mech, as you do, and decides to hop in and take it for what he calls a test drive. He decides the best place for this is in the sewers, because they are crawling with what appears to be what most 5 to 13-year-olds actually believe is lurking in those feces-filled crawl spaces. In this action-packed fun ride, you see what I did there, you're greeted by some intense guitar riffs and plenty of explosions that would do Michael Bay proud. Because I am a massive pussy, I decided to go in at the default settings of a normal speed at 100%. The difficulty increases based on what skill level you're selecting and what you're willing to play at. This heads up to a whopping 200% increase in speed. You take control of Granados, a prototype mech, and take it for a test ride in downtown Monsterville. Granados, what a crazy name. That's great. I like that. I like what you did there, developers. Once in downtown Monsterville, Jonah begins to realise that he has to become the hero of the day and rid the sewers of several different types of enemy that lurk throughout the sewers, as allowing them to live may result in losing the war back on surface. This game is laid out in a very simple way that allows players to complete a couple of challenges prior to escaping down to the next level of the sewer. These challenges are to destroy all the enemies, grab all the gold, or just make as much of a mess as humanly possible. For the most part though, the objective is to reach the next level of the sewers, indicated with a large bubble generally found in the corner of the room, and head down to the next level. Occasionally you will meet with several different bosses that vary in size, amounts, and ugliness. One thing you'll definitely be sure of is each boss feels satisfying to destroy, albeit providing limited challenge once you've really gotten into the swing of the suit. I did place this on normal though, so don't take my word on this. The mech you control comes with multiple functions to help you survive and decimate the objectives you have to complete. The first and most important is the 360-degree machine guns. The second is the rapid-fire, self-replicating grenades. Grenades, and they self-replicate? Has technology gone too far? And finally, a magic shield that has multiple functions. It's especially important that I mention this shield, as it's a very important mechanic throughout the game. This alone functions as both a magical levitator and a method of protection. You end up becoming this pinball type thing that when you hit walls and floors, you just bounce around, but this makes it for some interesting gameplay mechanics because it also allows you to defeat certain enemies that otherwise would be a pain in the ass to kill. It definitely takes some understanding and a bit of practice to get used to, but once you're there, you're pretty much good as gold and you're ready to go. Throughout the levels, expect to meet many different types of enemies, or Jonah will likely die and the game will laugh at your misfortune. There is a story in the game, but I couldn't really get too involved with it as it's relatively straightforward and it does kind of drift by while you make your way through the levels. There's no voice acting, and while this makes the game much simpler, it does take away some of the feeling and emotion you'd otherwise have for a game. My personal take on this is that it's a fun, simple platformer that does what it wants to do very well. The controls are smooth and responsive, the environments are different every time, and the bosses certainly give an unexpected level of difficulty that I did have trouble with completing from time to time. For the price of this, that is being sold on Steam at the time of making this recording, I would definitely give it a go, as the co-op multiplayer would be a nice opportunity for friends to play without ending up hating each other. Unfortunately, I couldn't test this as I have no friends. If you get the chance, I would definitely pick up the Mama's Best action pack that was released on Steam recently, as I've enjoyed all the games that I've played thus far. I've left a link in the description below for those of you that are interested. That's it from me, guys. I'm Dandy, and this has been my Explosionade review. If you'd like to see my other reviews on the games in Mummy's Best action pack, they can be found below in the description of this video. Remember to subscribe, and as always, stay dandy. Hello everyone, and welcome to another Dandy Reviews. Today we're going to be talking about Afro Samurai 2 Revenge of Kuma. Well, where do I start?